Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Bando, and today I'm doing my second 3D print review. So, just to get, before we start, little update on my Solar Auxilia. These guys are finished and ready for gloss varnish and some oils. It's only 5 guys to start with, but I wanted to get the scheme down, make sure it works, find out where their pitfalls are, but yeah, I'm quite happy with them so far, and I think they're going to look good. It's not a huge force, but I think they're going to look fine when they're all finished and weathered up. So yeah, it's just oils and things like lenses, and they're going to be going with my Blood Angels here. So yes, what are we covering today? Well, you may remember from a while back, I did a video reviewing a 3D printing service, which was from Gator 3D, and they got me these wonderful Mark II Marines for my Emperor's Children, and we had some trouble there. We had a little bit of a palaver with the old back and forth and taking time to get there. I'm very happy with these models. It's a project I'd like to keep behind me working on, but I'm putting it to the back burner at the moment. But I decided that this project is going to just continue, and as you can see here, the whopping scale difference between these guys and the Solar Auxilia, and then just a regular new scale Mark III Marine. Sorry, I'm really struggling with the focus here. And that's because these guys are printed at Primaris scale. And part of that will touch on some of the issues I had with this order. So, the order was 5 Phoenix Terminators by
Redacted!
And you can see here. Again, I'm going to have to separate this into 2 parts. The miniatures and the service itself. Miniatures wise, you can see here that the sculpt and the printing is pretty much spot on. It's sharp details, it's a good model, and you can just see how absolutely stonking in size these guys are. And there's the problem. When I first got them, he'd scaled them to the old scale of the classic Tartarus Terminator, and I'd specifically asked for them to be scaled up to be the new Primaris Terminator size. Bit of a problem because they were tiny compared to even the power armoured versions in Mark II armour. So I reached out to the guys over at 3dgameshop, who I got these from, and I said, hey, this is a problem. We had some other problems as well, and to his credit, he said, that's absolutely fine, my mistake. Send it back to me and I'll get it sorted. And you can see here, the only problem I've had with these guys, no instructions, and really getting them the two-handed poses to work was a little difficult. Now, you can see there's a little bit of scarring in places, and this is my sort of major complaint. There were a lot of mini supports left, and some nasty scarring from some supports on these models. The prints are really, really nice, but there are just a few imperfections here and there. Now, for an experienced modeler, not a problem at all, but just not perfect, good but not perfect sort of level of service. And I'm not going to be pedantic enough and go back and say, hey, look, there are mini supports here and there's some scarring, because frankly, if you're going to be getting 3D prints, these are kind of the things, these are our mould lines. But the worst ones were here on the backs of the pack. There was often some supports that ran right through them, which meant that there was going to be damage no matter what I did. I couldn't physically remove those without causing extra damage. That was a bit of a problem. And the kit comes with multiple Phoenix Spears, so you can either have the guys with two-handed poses or in one-handed poses. So it's really quite nice that you get that, and you get some extra hands as well. But a little bit of instruction.
Redacted!
Really nice. I didn't see that anywhere online. You can see here, these are a proxy for Phoenix Terminators. Everything is wholly its own sculpt. Nothing is scanned from GW, nothing is direct copies, they are just a homage. Now this is one area, it's going to be hard to see, but it's a very fine detail, very fine. And you can see it's kind of broken because it's just so thin. Yeah, it's not a huge problem. A lot of the damage can be covered up with weathering, and this is an Istvan army, so it's going to be weathered. It comes with a bunch of extra spears. As I said, they're all in Terminator scale hands, but frankly with the scale I'm working at, that probably won't be a problem. However, a lot of them are bent, and you can't really just heat them up, because photopolymer resin doesn't react the same way as two-part epoxy resin. They're a little bendy, but I am just a bit concerned that they're quite fragile. You also get some hands, which are wonderfully cast. You know, I keep saying cast, you know what I mean, printed. Sharp detail, no horrible Aztecing lines or anything. But on the other end of the spectrum, we have the casualties. So I ordered 5 casualties, only 4 here, because I didn't see the 5th one, which had fallen out the box at the back at the time. So we'll ignore that one. So I just said, hey, I'd like some of these casualties. There's several sets that Tortuga Bay make. And I just said, hey, just 5 random ones will be fine. And there were some slight problems here. Again, mini supports were still present in some places. The camera's going to be all over the place, unfortunately. This was probably the best one. I got 2 duplicates, and you can see here lots of mini supports inside. These have all still been slightly cleaned up as well. I just stopped halfway through these. 2 of this one, which is a little disappointing because it's kind of a weak sculpt. And you can see the mini supports are all, you know, kind of in the same place as well. And then this one and the other one both had print failures on them. This guy had several supports on the back, but also parts of his shoulder pads just simply didn't print, which means the supports probably came away during the printing process. So that's a bit of a negative there. You can see there that the shoulder isn't there. The other guy has like a flat top to his head, and it's got like layers coming off, which is not great. It's not the end of the world, but it's not good, you know. So I do have to kind of knock them down a bit for that. I'm just saying here about how the other one's got at the top of its head, but I don't know what the model is. But the Terminators themselves, I'm very happy with. There were no major like print faults. The only issue I had with them was there was some damage due to shipping, where the foot of one of the models had actually snapped clean off, and you can't tell because it went back together with a spot of super glue. In fact, I can't even remember which one it was that it broke on, but a spot of super glue and it went back together fine. So yes, 3dgameshop is who provided these. It was about £35, I think, ish. And you can see here that they're painted up in these colours, my nice purple Emperor's Children. So all in all, I'm probably going to have to give them a 6 out of 10, if I'm going to be honest. Lovely models, a little lacking on the communication side, and in my opinion, they need to improve their QA process. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on that front. If you would like to check out their models, they have a very limited website, and that's because to avoid the company that shall not be named striking them down, they don't put a lot of it on there. So if you reach out to them through like Instagram, and just say, hey, I would like this printed, if they've got it, they can do it. If not, if you just send them the file, they'll do it. So the Bowser
Redacted!
sculpts, lovely. Always
Redacted!
the Bowser sculpts, they're fantastic. Yeah, 3D Print Shop is the name of the company. There'll be a link in the description or pinned comment. And yeah, I'd say probably a 6 out of 10. One big benefit though is they did have a sale like the day after I ordered, but the guy in charge, I don't know his name, sorry, the guy in charge already applied the discount to me, so that was nice of him. Yeah, so yeah, all I had to do to get the Terminators were reprinted. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned that before. I just had to ship them back to him, so that was, you know, a bit annoying that it was an extra, like, I think it cost a £5. If that hadn't happened, this probably would be a 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, another 3D print in the UK, 3dgameshop. You can find them on Instagram or on their own website. Let me know if you've got a 3D print provider you use, and I will look at making an order in the next couple of months. Alright guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and if you're looking at picking up models that aren't 3D printed, check out Element Games, and you can use my reward code in the description to help support the channel. Alright guys, thank you very much, have a great day, happy Easter. Remember, Christ is King and He is risen. Alright, bye bye.